Welcome back to How They Died. Today's episode we are taking a look at one of the US's most notorious serial killers of all time. Jeffrey Dahmer. So, what exactly caused Jeffrey Dahmer's death? Christopher Scarver, a fellow prisoner, killed Dahmer on November 28, 1994, by beating him to death. The Columbia Correctional Facility in Wisconsin housed both men. Even though Dahmer wished to die, he was spared the death penalty because Wisconsin was the first state to abolish the death penalty in 1853. More on that in a moment. In 1992, Scarver, who was completing a 25-year sentence for an armed robbery that turned into a murder, joined Dahmer at the prison. The staff at the prison were very worried about the serial killer's safety. At the time, the New York Times reported that Dahmer had been in protective isolation for his first year in prison. Authorities believed that killing him might earn a convict an honored place in the prison world, as they were the state's most notorious murderers. Later, authorities decided that he could safely join the 622 other inmates. An attempt on Dahmer's life was made in July 1992. A prisoner attempted to cut Dahmer's throat with a homemade plastic knife but was unsuccessful. The staff at the prison thought it would be a one-off. No one was hurt. It was common for Dahmer to upset his fellow inmates. Scarver claims that the serial killer used prison food he made to look like severed limbs and packets of ketchup to look like blood to taunt other inmates. Scarver stated in 2015 to the New York Post that he would put them in places where people would be. He crossed the line with some people, including staff and inmates. He was not one of those people who are repentant while they are behind bars. Scarver tried to avoid Dahmer because of his behavior, but he always carried a newspaper article about the cannibal's crimes in his pocket. Scarver snapped when he thought Dahmer had poked him in the back. He confronted Dahmer about his crimes using a metal bar from the weight room. "I was so disgusted that I asked him if he did those things. He was surprised." Scarver confirmed this to the Post. He quickly began looking for the door. "I repelled him. It only took 2 swings of the bar to hit Dahmer in the head." Dahmer's skull was crushed, and an hour after arriving at the hospital, he was declared dead. He was 34. He died as a result. Regarding the murder, Scarver stated, "I put his head down." The sister of Errol Lindsay, one of Dahmer's final victims, Rita Isbell, stated that she had anticipated Dahmer's execution in prison. According to the New York Times, she had been receiving phone calls from men claiming to be prisoners for 2 years, promising that Dahmer would be taken care of. She claimed that the callers informed her, "I'm not known to you. Jeffrey Dahmer and I are here up here. Don't stress. We'll deal with it." She went on to say, "I wouldn't say I wanted it to happen like this, but Jeffrey tore my family up," but she didn't say why.